There it is, all back together, working like a champ. No problems, and thankfully nothing broken. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing. If you find this video interesting or helpful at all, maybe it'll give you a few tips or tricks if you haven't found them online already. We're going to try to hardwire in our little pigtail for our radar detector to our power source in our rear view mirror. So I've seen a few videos online and some stuff on the forums, but I thought it might be good to share a complete breakdown of the mirror and the setup that I've got here on this 2017 Ram. And honestly, I've already done some tests and it's working out fine so far, so I thought I'd go ahead and break it down step by step and show you how I did it and see if you know, might help some of you guys out and be a little easier to do this in the future. I did think about using a fuse tap, running a wire from the fuse box and up through the pillar of the truck to it, but I bought this small little kit from Amazon with these pigtails in it, and I'll show you that more in depth in a second, and I'll leave the link in the description to what I bought. But I said, you know what, instead of running all that wire, having a fuse tap and everything, this power source is right here. So let me see if I can do this. I read a few little horror stories about getting the mirror off or the trim around the mirror and everything, but honestly, it didn't turn out to be that bad. Now, I still have to put it all back together, so hopefully that doesn't turn out to be a nightmare. But anyway, let me show you what I've got so far and see if it'll help some of you guys out. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got so far. So if you look up here, turn the light on, you see a little bit better. You've got our little adapter that's mounted to the windshield that the mirror snaps into and rotates on. And then we've got our wiring harness that comes down from the ceiling. And we've got a little adapter that comes through, or not an adapter, but a push pin that goes into the mirror. And there's our plug. So you've got this kind of a pink and yellow wire, and I'll zoom in on it in just a second, but you've got this pink and yellow wire and a black wire. So that's your hot and your ground. The black's the ground and the pink and yellow is the hot wire. And then you've got this other wire, which I'm assuming is maybe for like the SOS or the data connection to the mirror or those buttons on the front. And so I bought this little adapter straight off of Amazon, and it's straight for the RJ45 connector for the radar detector, and we've got it put in on the pigtail right there. And so I'll show you how I did all that. Here is the mirror housing, the plastic housing that slips up by your windshield. So there's the bottom piece. Here's the top piece. You can see on the top piece it's got these little catch tabs on the side. Oh, right there and right there. And then it's got the two little pegs or feet that has to slide in behind it on there. And then here's the little pieces that catch up top on both sides here. So what I did is I was able to take my pry tool and just slide right in between right here, and it popped that catch here loose, and then you could just wiggle the other one loose and slide it up for the feet to let go. Now, the bottom piece is much more annoying because if you notice, let's put it right here so you can see, you've got this clip and this clip that hold it on to this metal bracket that your mirror mounts to. So that's where it goes in on either side. It clips in there and then over here as well. And so here's your mirror assembly and everything. And so that one, it's a little bit harder to figure out how to get that clip in there from the start and get it loose and get these to pop off. But if you take the whole mirror off, and some people said that they didn't have to, but if you take the whole mirror off, you can get to those and slide it off and get to the plug. Plugs on the back side here for those functions on the front of the mirror, the assist and the 911 button and the dimmer and everything. It's right here, and then you just mash the little tab up from the bottom on the plug right here, and it'll slip loose and come right out. So that's what we did. So what I plan to do is, here's the funky looking adapter on the back side. So what you have to do is slide it on about 30 degrees or so from counterclockwise, and then snap it back straight up, and that'll put it back on. So I'm gonna button all this up, electrical tape this new adapter wire to it so it'll hold together in case the radar detector, this stupid mount. I'm gonna get another mount because this suction cup every so often will fall off the windshield. It's not the best one, so I'm gonna get a new suction cup that'll hold it, but that way if it does fall off in the heat or whatever, it won't rip this wire out. So I'm gonna tape it back together and then start putting it all together. But I did go ahead and test it. Let's see. So the truck's accessory power is on. Plug it in and there we go. So it's working perfect. Again, that pink and yellow wire, see if I can get a little closer. Pink and yellow wire is the power and the black wire is the ground. And I've got the kind where the little flat blade or spade terminals on the wiring harness just slides right in to the plug on the back side, and it's working perfect. Okay, so we've got the mirror mounted back on there. It wasn't as bad as I was thinking. You have to just get that alignment just about probably 30, probably not 45 degrees, 30 degrees counterclockwise. Push it straight on with some force and then rotate back clockwise, and it'll force it back in there and snap it back on. So that went back on fine. There's the plug out the back right there. So we've got it electrical taped and back in with the main wiring harness. Let me get my light so you can see. So there's electrical tape back to the main wiring harness, and then there's the pigtail over to the radar detector. So now if we turn the truck on, the lights come on the mirror and the radar detector comes on. So now we just have to snap this bottom piece straight back up. So these clips will snag on the metal bracket again right here on the side. They should just snap right back in, and then this top piece will slide on and snap back in, and we just have to make sure our wiring harness and the new wiring harness goes through the top, and then we'll just stick it up in the headliner there, and that should take care of everything. And that's it, back together. So the bottom piece slid straight back up on there, no problems there. Top piece, again, just make sure you've got those two little feet that I was telling you about, the tabs that hook on that bottom edge in there first, and then you can push it back in from the top and it'll snap. Let's get my light. Well, sorry, it's all in the way. You can snap the top back in, and then the new wiring harness will come right out the top, and it plugs right into the side, no problem. And then again, we'll test it all back out one more time. It's the power to the mirror, power to the radar detector. So not bad at all. Took probably, you know, filming included and everything, it probably didn't take 5 to 10 minutes once figured out the wiring situation and which ones to use. So not bad at all. So that was it, quick and easy. It probably, again, just recapping, it probably only took 5 to 10 minutes max. Just figuring out how to get some of those trim pieces off was about the most difficult thing to figure out, but it wasn't that bad once you just, you know, a lot of people said, you know, don't bother taking the mirror off, but honestly, it didn't take much more time just to snap that mirror off counterclockwise, pull it off, and you could get to everything real easy. I did not want a chance breaking any of those plastic tabs off of the trim and then have to hunt those down on eBay or Amazon or from the dealership and pay a fortune for trim pieces if I broke them. And so that worked really well. Everything went back together, tested it again, no problem. So again, I'll leave the link down below if you're interested in the little pigtail harness. It came with 3 different types of harnesses depending on how you wanted to wire it up, but it worked fine. I think it was 14 bucks on Amazon. You can probably even find one cheaper, but I'll leave the link to that in the description. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to ask them. Again, super simple install. If you don't feel like running wire and doing a fuse tap or whatever, this really is not that bad once you just kind of get it apart, take a look at it, take your time with it so you don't break anything. But all that being said, Hope it helped somebody out. If it did, give it a thumbs up or consider subscribing. We do all kinds of car videos, travel videos, just hobbies and interests overall. So you might find something you like on the channel. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.